What's up, everybody? Trey Biddy with Hog Sports coming to you with an emergency walk and talk after the firing of Arkansas coach Sam Pittman and what is arguably the most important coaching search in program history. The walk and talk is built by Sutherlands, 1-866 Barns. Those of you looking for a Barndominium, barn, garage, hunting lodge, check them out at Sutherlands.com. Get a free estimate, all your home and garden needs, 6 locations in Arkansas. And I want to make this point also. I want to make this as easy as possible for Razorback fans to get the most informative, most in-depth, most accurate, and arguably the most important of all that, the most entertaining coaching search information possible. And you can get that at hogsports.com. And we're going to do 2 months for $1. 2 months for $1. You can follow along with all of it. Nobody covers a coaching search in the country like we do at Hog Sports. Ask somebody. Ask somebody about it. It's a different level of immersion. Where to start? Sam Pittman's a real guy. And I wish him nothing but the best. It did not work out for him. And you kind of saw that happening back in 2022, 2023 especially. 2023, you go back and look at some of the walk and talks that I did then. I really thought that was probably the moment where there would be change, and nothing happened. The way the season ended, kind of letting go of the rope with the players. And guys, I'll say this, like, even last year, like, I thought that he needed to win 8 games. And even broke that down, how that looks, and I'll talk about that here in a second, and predicted them to win 5 games. And then when I reported that 6-6 apparently was enough for Arkansas to have this turnaround season and save Sam Pittman's job, people acted like that was a personal endorsement for me. My opinions have never changed. Aside from year 1 of a coaching tenure, Arkansas fans should not expect anything worse than 4-4 in conference. I don't care what the last 32 years have said, because the last 32 years are not acceptable by Arkansas standards. It's just not. It's not what this program can be, and this is an opportunity to change that narrative, okay? 4-4 in conference and going 3-1 and 4-0 every other year, and every other year winning your bowl game. And you know what? 7-8 wins, 9 wins here and there, and you get 9 wins in this landscape in the SEC, you can sneak your way into the college football playoff. Why is that too much to ask every now and then? It's not. I refuse to believe that this state and this program isn't capable of at least doing that. And this is the moment where that can change. My opinion on that has never changed. And I'll say this, like, about myself, like, people have said I'm not showing enough anger and all this kind of stuff, and I need to be like this. I'm going to be how I am. I'm not going to feign some emotion to get on here in the walk and talk just to appease people. I have to feel how I feel. If people tell me they like the authenticity of it, well, that's what it is. So I'm not going to just fake anger. Back in 2019, I saw a level of incompetence. Sam Pittman at least wanted to get this thing right and had some passion for it. It didn't work out, and maybe he didn't have what it took to get it done. Maybe he didn't have the backing. Maybe it was the circumstances. Maybe it's a lot of excuses. But I can tell you right now, guys, people can get behind this thing and change this narrative. And there's a lot of things that have to change, okay? Me, myself, as I mentioned, one of my biggest character flaws, and I know it, and I've looked within on it, I have a tendency to expect too much out of people. And when they don't reach my level of expectation, I get furious and I get hot. And everybody knows how I feel when I walk into the room. I've got one of those faces where everybody knows how I feel, sometimes to my detriment. But this situation here, I'm not asking too much, and I don't think Arkansas fans are asking too much to be a competitive team week in and week out, to not get their ass kicked 56-13 because a bunch of players let go of the rope. And like I was saying in the walk and talk in the post game, this was one of 2 scenarios that could have played out. There were only really 2. It was beat Ole Miss, which was on the table, beat Memphis, which was on the table, play a competitive game against Notre Dame, and you're sitting here at 4-1, probably still nationally ranked with a bye week looking at Tennessee. Or the other one, something goes wrong again, complete let go of the rope. That's what happened, and that's where we are. I don't even know if 4-8 is really even attainable. But guys, this program in this state is capable of so much more. I refuse to believe that Arkansas is what it has been over the past several years. It can be better. We've got a coaching search hot board on Hog Sports right now. You can check out. We've got 20 names on there with buyout information, why they're a good fit, why they might not be a good fit. A lot of in-depth information for everybody to check out at Hog Sports. And there are some intriguing names. I mean, John Sumrall at Tulane, I think, is interesting. A lot of people have talked about Rhett Lashley. Barry Odom is a guy that people have talked about. Dan Mullen. Bobby Petrino has his audition coming up right now. This is an audition for Bobby Petrino as the interim coach. Wild to see that he's going to be the head coach again at the University of Arkansas after all the stuff that went down. And it's been a long time ago, but it's crazy. To me, it feels like yesterday almost. But anyway, a lot of interesting names from, defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, G5 head coaches, Power 5 head coaches, coaches that are in the NFL even. We've got all of that at Hog Sports, a lot of different options. And of course, Bobby Petrino, the interim coach. So guys, and with Sam Pittman also, Arkansas was late to the table on NIL game. They didn't embrace 2021. This is an opportunity with a fresh start to get behind this program, because Arkansas is not going to hire the coach that you want without things like NIL in shape and a sense that this thing can turn around. And that was a problem last time. There were coaches that said they wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, if you can remember from way back when, me doing these walk and talks. And I'll say this too, like with the walk and talk and people wanting me to feel a certain way about stuff, guys, again, I'm going to feel the way that I feel. And there was a time where I felt like yelling at the camera, maybe rattled some cages, maybe woke some people up. Maybe I was relaying what I think Arkansas fans feel at the same time, because I feel the same thing. And then after, 2023, you kind of just felt like nobody's listening. And maybe it's just me talking into a camera and nobody hears it. But I'm going to try one more time. Making a crappy hire here is going to be really unacceptable. There is an opportunity to get it done. And I think that there are people out there who support this program, who have the means, not like I do, who can help get this done. This will change. This can change this whole state, the energy, because there's a lot of people that root on the Chiefs. There's a lot of people that root on the Cowboys. But as far as one program that 90% of the people in this state get behind, it is the Arkansas Razorbacks. And having a great football team and a team that you're proud of and a team that you can wake up thinking you got a chance every single Saturday, having that changes the spirit around here. It changes the whole vibe. I'm looking at these SEC teams last night. I'm like watching Alabama and Georgia, of course. I'm watching Penn State and Oregon on the on the multi-screen, and watching all these other games, and I just see such a passion with those players and fight, and I'm just like, man, what does that feel like? It's been a while. Maybe that Tennessee game, maybe that was the blip that we felt, but aside from that, it just hasn't happened enough for Arkansas fans. But man, I talk about this all the time too. Like, you look at Alabama and what football has done. They have like more national merit scholars at that school than anywhere else. Like, if you're looking to invest in this area, to lift all boats in this area, have a good football program. Have a good football program. It'll improve everything. The arts, median income, the way people feel every day. That's all on the table right now. Go out and make a hire that excites people, that people can get behind, that people can endorse, that people will give. And Razorback fans, I don't want to tell anybody how to spend your money, but be proactive. You got to be proactive. One area that Arkansas, where they have missed, and maybe there's a need for some overhaul at the University of Arkansas, but they miss on being proactive, being aggressive. And other schools in the SEC do this. Like, some examples. People say stuff like Arkansas is cursed. And I say, for what? What have we done to be cursed? Because I look at Penn State, a lot of awful stuff going on at Penn State years ago. They seem to be doing fine. Baylor, fine. Auburn basically bought a national championship with Cam Newton one year. Fine. Ole Miss cheated their tails off under Hugh Freeze. Seem to be doing fine. Ohio State, Tatgate, NCAA is going to hammer them. A couple years later, they go 12-0, 2014, they win the national championship. They're fine. Arkansas has to be aggressive. They have to push the envelope. They have to be proactive. They have to be creative. And if the people up there can't do that, then they need to get some other people. Here we go again with me expecting a certain level from people. Maybe that's not such a bad quality. Maybe I changed my mind a little bit on that. Maybe I could just be a little bit less frustrated. But the time is to strike right now. This is the time to get it done. Hire the right coach. Get this fan base. Get this whole state behind you. It's possible. Don't screw it up. If you need me to help, I'm happy to help. I'm here. I'll do whatever you want. If you want to ask me, come to me. There's other people around the state that are dying to help. And I would say to anybody, get behind. And there are some good people up at the University of Arkansas. Some great people that I know. But there's some others maybe that they need to look at. And I'll say it like this too, and maybe this is just the losing, but like some of the games that I go to, and I've been to every venue in the SEC except for Oklahoma, and plenty of other venues, plenty of NFL stadiums and stuff. It's just the vibe on game day at Arkansas just doesn't compare in a lot of ways. That whole thing needs to be refreshed. And that was kind of eye-opening too when I went to Oxford this last time, because I've been to Ole Miss before, obviously, and I've been to Ole Miss when it wasn't anything close to what it is right now. And again, part of that is winning, but there are other things game day wise that aren't so gimmicky and cheesy, that distinguish teams, that build hype and energy. I mean, you go to like Alabama, and again, they're winning, but the whole game is like a sing-along. You know, the energy that you feel at the start of a game in South Carolina, what they have going on in Oxford, I don't feel that same vibe in Fayetteville. And maybe there's a desensitization to it being in Fayetteville and seeing it every weekend. But I feel like there's so much room to really look within in this moment with a coaching change, the biggest position in the state of Arkansas. Make no mistake, guys, football in Arkansas, people made these comments like, because I said Arkansas is a football state, and they're like, no, it's not because of this and that. Look at the traffic. I can see from a media standpoint, when I put anything out on football versus any other sport, the traffic. And like, yeah, not as successful. Like if you're talking about what Arkansas is most successful at, then maybe we talk about track and field. It's a track and field state. But if you talk about the thing that people care about the most, the people that people are dying to be good at the most, that's football, and it's not even close. I'm sorry, basketball is second, and basketball is extremely important to people in this state. But football is just a different level, and it's important to get this right. And I think that's one reason people are sick and tired about hearing how good all the other sports are doing and stuff. Not that they don't support it, and not that they don't want them to be good, but the main thing on people's mind is football. Be good at football. Get this right. Hire the right guy. Hire a guy that people can get behind, that's a motivator, that's exciting. The opportunity is there, and everybody has to do their part. Did I cover everything I needed to cover? Wish Sam Pittman well. Don't screw this up. A lot of potential in Arkansas. 2 months, $1 at Hog Sports. Barndominiums at 1-800-66-BARNS. Opportunities right there, guys. Arkansas does not have to settle for being a doormat. And right now, Arkansas is the worst football program in the SEC. And what's messed up about that is a couple of weeks ago, they weren't. They were capable of beating just about anybody. I mean, you go to Oxford and beat them or play them to within a point even. I guarantee that Ole Miss, no disrespect to Memphis, but that Ole Miss team would wipe the floor with Memphis at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. No disrespect. I don't mean anything by that. I'm just saying that's where Arkansas's mindset went. Their energy. Something went wrong. And then Sam Pittman couldn't get them to fight for him. And that's on Sam, but it's also on these players. I'm sorry, but it is. And I hate coming down on the players, but they didn't fight. They loafed, they jogged, and not everybody. I know that's not everybody. He's still my guy, Cam Ball. I know that's not everybody, but it's enough, and it takes 11. Change the energy, change the narrative. That all can be accomplished. This is an opportunity, not a setback. All right, everybody. This has been Trey Biddy with hogsports.com. Walk and talk, wrapping it up, and we'll catch you next time.